Bamidbar, in the wilderness. At our last Shabbat we read together the closing verses of Parashat Bechukotai, indeed the book of Leviticus itself, and declared together, Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek, be strong, and be strengthened. There are certainly some passages in the book of Leviticus which inspire us, particularly the Holiness Code in chapter 19. However, the book of Leviticus is primarily a manual for the Levi'im, the priests, the cultic officials of the Second Temple. I am primarily cheered by the completed reading of Leviticus because I know that it heralds the beginning of my favourite book of the five, the Book of Numbers, presumably so called because it begins with a census accounting. Its Hebrew title is Bamidbar, taken from the opening phrase, Bamidbar Sinai, in the wilderness of Sinai. Its focus and location is unique among the Torah. Genesis, like Numbers, is a narrative, but takes place over many generations. From Adam to Joseph, and in exotic places too, as diverse as the Garden of Eden, Ur, Canaan, and Egypt. Exodus is narrative too, recording the life of Moses from his birth in Egypt, his encounter with a burning bush in the desert of Midian, his challenge to Pharaoh in Egypt, the splitting of the Reed Sea, and of course the receipt of the Ten Commandments at Mount Sinai. The books of Leviticus and Deuteronomy are primarily legislative tomes of instructions, and whilst the biblical redactors sought to place them in the desert experience, between the revelation at Mount Sinai and the foothills of Jordan, their geography is irrelevant to their purpose. It is the book of Numbers, which records the wandering of the children of Israel over a period of some 40 years in a relatively small and compact area. It tells of the intimate encounter between God, who is manifest as a cloud by day and a fire by night, and the generation of Hebrews and others who left Egypt, but who will die out during the 38-year trek. The reader will learn of the miraculous supply of manna and of quail, of the receiving of contradictory scouting reports about Canaan, of the rebellion of Korach, and of the pagan prophet Bilam and his talking donkey, who is commissioned to curse the Israelites, but instead praises them, with the words made popular with Jews by its inclusion as the opening verse of the morning liturgy, Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, Mishkonotecha Yisrael. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. Even more well known from use in both Jewish and Christian liturgical circles is the priestly Aaronic blessing. Yevarech Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'lasem lecha shalom. May the Eternal One protect you and bless you. May the Eternal One deal kindly and gracious with you. May the Eternal One bestow divine favour upon you and give you peace. This ancient but familiar formulaic prayer, coupled with the moving laying on of hands by which Moses transfers authority and succession to Joshua, gives, in my view, a spiritual depth to the book of Numbers. Where and how one finds spiritual depth is an eternal quest of some human beings. Some find it in pomp and circumstance. For others it is located in wonderful art and decent music. And for me, it is observed in two seemingly contradictory situations. In the everyday kindness of one person to another, and in the listening to and observing of birds and wildlife in the absence of any other human being. It is therefore not surprising that I am drawn to Bamidbar. The Midrash Mechilta B'Chodesh 5 asks, why was the Torah given in the wilderness? It answers, to avoid causing dissension among the tribes. Else one might have said, in my territory the Torah was given. And the other might have said, no, in my territory the Torah was given. Therefore the Torah was given in the desert, publicly and openly, in a place belonging to no one, in what used to be called no man's land. In other words, the rabbis wanted to observe the Torah belongs to anybody who wants it, who wants to claim it, and indeed traditionally it was written in the 70 languages of the world, the known languages at the time. Our current circumstances, locked down in the face of a virulent pandemic, is seen by some as the equivalent of a dangerous wilderness. And perhaps we might learn that it will only be by collective effort, owned by no single person or nation, but by all peoples and all societies, that we shall overcome and see a new and welcome dawn. Shavuot Tov, have a good week.